The seat that shook a nation. The airplane cabin buzzed with the usual pre-flight chaos. Passengers stowing bags, flight attendants checking seat belts, and the distant hum of engines warming up. I, Michael Thompson, a 55-year-old software engineer from Chicago, settled into my business class window seat next to my wife, Sarah, for what was supposed to be a quiet anniversary trip to Washington, D.C. 5 years of marriage, countless mornings of shared coffee, and a meticulously planned getaway were about to unravel in ways I never could have imagined. Sarah, 53, with her sharp blue eyes and neatly tied chestnut hair, exuded calm as she flipped through a biography of a Supreme Court justice. She worked for the government. Something about classified paperwork she'd always brushed off with a smile. I'd learned not to pry. But as we buckled in at O'Hare's Gate B12, a storm was brewing in the form of Linda Harper, a 58-year-old real estate mogul with a designer handbag and a temper to match. Linda stormed down the aisle, her heels clicking like a metronome. She stopped at our row, her eyes narrowing on Sarah. "There's been a mistake," she declared, waving her boarding pass like a flag. "I'm a platinum member. I always get business class. You're in my seat." Sarah looked up, unfazed. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but these are our assigned seats. You might want to check with the gate agent." Linda's face flushed crimson. "Listen, sweetheart," she sneered, leaning closer. "People like you don't belong in business class. I've been flying for decades. I have status." Her voice carried, drawing stares from nearby passengers. A child whimpered a few rows back. I shifted uncomfortably, but Sarah remained still, her voice steady. "Ma'am, I suggest you speak to the flight crew." That's when Linda lost it. She kicked Sarah's carry-on, popping it open, and screamed, "Switch seats now, or I'm calling 911. She tore her boarding pass in half, flinging the pieces at Sarah's face. The cabin fell silent. Passengers craned their necks. Flight attendants hurried over, led by Captain James Wilson, a seasoned crew chief with a practiced smile. "Ma'am, how can I assist you?" he asked Linda. "These people," Linda spat, pointing at us, "are stealing seats from paying customers like me. I demand you remove them." Sarah reached into her purse with deliberate calm, pulling out a black leather wallet. She flipped it open, revealing a badge I'd never seen up close. "Code 7734, she said to Wilson, her voice low but commanding. His smile vanished, replaced by a look of stunned deference. Linda scoffed, pulling out her phone. "I'm calling 911 to report this abuse." But before she could finish, her phone buzzed with an automated message. "Your 911 call has been redirected to the Federal Aviation Administration." Linda's jaw dropped. Sarah's lips curved into a cold smile. "I'm the one who receives that call," she said. For hours earlier, life was simpler. Sarah and I were packing for our trip, her methodical precision a stark contrast to my haphazard tossing of clothes into a suitcase. She worked for the government, but her job was a mystery she guarded with vague answers and that enigmatic smile. At 55, I'd grown used to it, assuming her work was dull bureaucratic stuff. How wrong I was. At O'Hare, we arrived early, Sarah's insistence, and settled into our seats. Then Linda Harper appeared, her cream-colored suit screaming wealth, her attitude screaming entitlement. She didn't just want our seats, she wanted to dominate. Her confrontation with Sarah wasn't just about a seat, it was a power play, one that would spiral into a national controversy. As Linda's outburst escalated, passengers began recording. A woman 3 rows back, Patricia Evans, a 60-year-old nurse from Denver, captured every moment. Linda's insults, "Little girls like you don't belong here," and her threats to have us removed echoed through the cabin. Sarah's response was textbook, calm, professional, and backed by a badge that made Captain Wilson snap to attention. Linda's 911 call backfired spectacularly. The redirected message stunned her into silence, but she wasn't done. "This is America," she shouted, now filming Sarah. "Government employees don't get to bully honest citizens." The irony was lost on her as she demanded special treatment while accusing Sarah of the same. Sarah's badge, I later learned, identified her as Deputy Director of the Transportation Security Administration's Office of Aviation Security Operations. My wife, the woman who made my morning coffee, had the power to ground flights and manage no-fly lists. I was married to a stranger. By the time we landed at Reagan National, Linda had posted her edited video online, framing Sarah as a power-hungry bureaucrat. The caption read, "TSA official steals seats, threatens innocent passenger." It spread like wildfire, racking up 300 shares in an hour. Conservative media outlets pounced, painting Sarah as the face of government overreach. But Patricia's unedited video told a different story. It captured Linda's aggression, her discriminatory remarks, and Sarah's measured responses. Other passengers, like Robert Jenkins, a 62-year-old teacher from Illinois, posted accounts of Linda's pre-flight tantrums, exposing her history of bullying airline staff. Hashtags like Justice for Sarah trended as the truth gained traction. Linda didn't stop at social media. She contacted Paul Reynolds, a radio host with a 4 million-strong audience, who aired her story without fact-checking. "This is tyranny," Linda cried on air, claiming Sarah's badge was a tool to oppress regular Americans. The narrative took hold, fueled by her ties to conservative groups like the Freedom Alliance, a militia-adjacent organization. Sarah's phone rang nonstop, reporters, her TSA supervisor, even death threats. She was placed on administrative leave, her 20-year career hanging by a thread. "My firm, Grayson Technologies, put my $400,000 project on hold, citing reputational risks. Our savings dwindled as legal bills loomed." In our hotel room, Sarah's composure cracked. "I might have to resign," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "This could ruin us." I was furious, not just at Linda, but at Sarah for keeping her job a secret. "How could you not tell me you're a deputy director?" I demanded. She broke down, explaining the weight of her security clearance and the lives she protected daily. "I wanted to tell you, Michael," she sobbed, "but I couldn't risk it." Linda escalated her attack, hiring Stephen Carter, a private investigator known for digging dirt on federal workers, and Edward Lawson, a lawyer specializing in anti-government lawsuits. They filed a $4 million civil rights suit, claiming Sarah violated Linda's constitutional rights. The Freedom Alliance rallied, organizing protests outside TSA headquarters. Our lives unraveled. My firm fired me, citing morality clauses. Sarah's security clearance was suspended. Strangers doxed us, sharing our address and wedding photos online. Comments called Sarah a deep state tyrant. I watched my wife, once unshakable, shrink under the pressure. Then came a turning point. Sarah hired Laura Bennett, a former DOJ attorney who specialized in defending federal employees. Laura uncovered Linda's history. 8 complaints against government workers, all following the same script. FBI files linked her to extremist groups advocating legal warfare against federal agencies. TSA's AI system had flagged Linda as a repeat troublemaker, her behavior matching pre-attack indicators. Laura organized a press conference with Senator Diane Mitchell's office. Armed with videos, audio, and Linda's damning social media posts, Laura dismantled Linda's narrative. The public tide turned. Support Sarah trended, and memes mocked Linda as Aviation Karen. The Airline Passengers Association condemned her lawsuit, warning it endangered aviation security. The trial was a media circus. Judge Margaret Ellison, a 65-year-old veteran jurist, presided over a packed courtroom. Edward Lawson painted Linda as a victim of federal oppression, but Laura's cross-examination was ruthless. She presented Linda's extremist ties, her pattern of complaints, and security footage of her tantrum. Linda's defense collapsed when she admitted her patriotic resistance against government tyranny, revealing her lawsuit as a political stunt. Sarah's testimony was a masterclass in professionalism. She explained her role, the AI-driven security protocols, and why Linda's actions triggered Code 7734. The jury was riveted, learning how Sarah's decisions protected millions. Dr. Thomas Reed, a former FBI analyst, testified that Linda's behavior fit the profile of a potential threat. The verdict came after 4 hours. Linda was found guilty of federal aviation interference, with a hate crime enhancement for targeting Sarah's government status. She was sentenced to 20 months in prison, banned from flying, and ordered to pay Sarah $600,000. Federal marshals cuffed her as cameras rolled, her supporters stunned into silence. Sarah was promoted to Associate Administrator for Aviation Security, implementing the Harper Protocol to track disruptive passengers. I was rehired by Grayson Technologies with a $250,000 bonus and a new cybersecurity division. Our marriage, tested by secrets and lies, emerged stronger. Sarah could finally share her world with me, from terrorist plots she'd thwarted to international security briefings. At a passenger-organized dinner, Captain Wilson presented Sarah with a plaque for her professionalism. The 43 passengers from our flight shared stories of her courage, a testament to justice prevailing. The Freedom Alliance disbanded under FBI scrutiny, and Edward Lawson's firm collapsed after an ethics probe. Linda's real estate empire crumbled, her wealth drained by fines. She became a cautionary tale, her aviation Karen moniker a warning to entitled passengers. Sarah's White House recognition, alongside other federal heroes, cemented her legacy. Our story, born from a seat dispute, became a national testament to truth over manipulation. What do you think about standing up to bullies like Linda? Have you ever faced injustice or aggression in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can fight back against entitlement and ensure justice prevails.